Morning, guys. You guys were to read or listen to, or both, the Oregon Trail yesterday, and today we have an assignment for key details and main idea on these two paragraphs under the Migration Explodes. So I just want you to look real quick at the assignment. On your assignment, you have the two paragraphs so that it's right there in front of you, a little easier to read. But here's the chart. The chart gives you the section to read. It gives you a key detail already that we're giving you one to provide you to start you off with. And then you have the main idea given to you already so that you know the details you're trying to find. You're finding details that will prove that a large number of people traveled on the Oregon Trail. So I'm going to just read through this section with you real quick and make sure that so far you guys understand what you're reading and what's happening in the Oregon Trail. So we have the Migration Explodes. So at this point, people have already started migrating. Lewis and Clark expedition has gone out. They've found a beautiful piece of territory once they get past those Rocky Mountains. So the Rocky Mountains were really holding them up for a long time because the terrain was really hard to travel on. Nobody really could get through them to even know what was on the other side of them. But now that they've purchased this other land, they've found that it's got plenty of animals to hunt, so there's food. They've got plains where they can grow crops and have fields of hay for animals, and they described it in such a way that was so beautiful, right? The lush green grass. And so, yeah, they're excited. So this migration is exploding, which kind of gives us that image of now we have not just a few people going out west to find out what's happening, but now we've got a lot of people saying, hey, I'm out of here. Let's go. So we're going to start right here in paragraph 15, under the Migration Explodes. Soon after Narcissa Whitman made her trek on the Oregon Trail, others began to migrate there too. In 1842, a party of more than 100 people set off. Okay, that was that first detail that we added to the chart. It was an important detail because it's a letting you know that this was a key event. This first group of people setting off was a huge group, and here we go. Soon the numbers increased dramatically. Okay, they didn't just increase a little bit, they increased dramatically. That's a lot. So many people began to venture west that the migration was called Oregon fever. So it's almost like it's contagious and these people are getting the Oregon fever and now they're wanting to move west. In 1843, around 1,000 men, women, and children left Elk Grove, Missouri for the west. I'm thinking that might be a really awesome key detail. Sorry guys, I'm going to keep bumping the page to add to my chart. Because I've already added that in 1842, a party of 100 people went. Now, 1 year later, 1,000 people left. Is that going to support the idea that a large number of people are traveling west? Absolutely. So we'll add that one to our chart. Here, let's go back on and put a sticky. Key detail number 2. Not 12. 2. Okay. The immigrants formed a wagon train and embarked on the Oregon Trail. There were more than 100 covered wagons and a herd of about 5,000 oxen. Holy moly, that's a lot. And cattle that set off on the 3,200 kilometer, which is about 2,000-mile journey. The travelers faced many hardships. We've talked about the word hardships before, but just in case you've forgotten, hardships have that negative connotation already because it has the word hard in it. And we know that when something's hard, it tends to make us feel not very happy. So they faced many hardships and dangers. So that was a really great context clue. What do you think hardships might be? I have a feeling if we keep reading, we'll have some clues that will support that. Let's see if we can figure that out. I'm going to add a little sticky over here. And I'm just going to make a list of some of the things that help me to understand what the hardships might be. Many believed Native Americans' attacks posed the greatest threat. So we have attacks by the Native Americans, and I'm just abbreviating because these are my notes, guys. These are just my brain jots. But crossing rivers was also treacherous. Ooh, treacherous. Crossing rivers. So to me, sounds like treacherous sounds like it's even worse than just hard. That's kind of scary. And the weather was unpredictable. Sudden downpours, snowstorms, hailstorms could divert the wagon train. Wagons would break down. So now we've got a lot of ideas now about these hardships and dangers, and I think it's safe to say that we understand that they're not very good things. They're things that are going to make the trip harder and more difficult to accomplish. Okay, the journey could take up to 6 months. Wow. And disease could spread quickly. So not only do we have long time, we have disease. Okay? Still they pressed on. Oh, these people are perseverant. Among hoping to reach Oregon safely and begin a new life there. So this picture I thought was a really great picture. Let me scoot down a little bit. It shows you a wagon breaking down, and it kind of gives you that idea and that visual of like, oh, if that had happened. You've got your family in there, you've got all of your belongings that you could fit to bring with you. Those wagons are attached to animals, so you possibly could have lost an animal or an animal become injured or hurt. So the migration beginning in large amounts of people traveling to the West, it kind of opened up the door for these new challenges and these new things and hardships and dangers and all of these things that they had to persevere through in order to make it. So going back to your chart, okay, we already marked one really great detail. There is another really great detail. We just did not mark it. But I'm wanting to prove that a large number of people traveled the Oregon Trail. So my first one says in 1842, 100 people set off. I'm thinking now I want to get rid of my highlighter. I want to add in 1843 around 1,000 men and women. Let's see if I can pull up my chart here. Okay, so I have an 1843 1,000 men, women, and children left. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Elm Grove, Missouri, for the West. So that was another great one. And I love that it was only 1 year later, because that really helps us to see how quickly it grew. And then the last detail that I think would be a really great one to add, I don't know how you feel, is this detail about more than 100 covered wagons. And no comma, and a herd of about 5,000 oxen and cattle set off. Okay, let's fix my words here. Okay, so as you're going through and you're looking at these details and the main idea, remember my key details prove my main idea to be true. They support it. They hold it up. They show how it's a true idea that we've come up with about what we've read. I hope you're enjoying the story. We have a little treat for you on Friday that kind of goes with the story. So read it, be aware of what's happening, listen to it, ask questions so you understand, because it was a big journey that a lot of lives were lost, a lot of people were hurt, but it was a big deal that changed our history. So I hope you're enjoying it, and of course if you have questions, just ask. We're here, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye.